السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا مباركا طيبا فيه. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. قال الله تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وقال تعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: عليكم بالسنة وسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين تمسكوا بها وعضوا عليها بالنواضع وإياكم ومحدثة الأمور فإن كل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد فيا أيها المسلمون، قال الله تعالى: لا يسأل عما يفعل وهم يسألون. وقال الله تعالى: فلا وربك لا يؤمنون حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم ثم لا يجدوا في أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما. صدق الله العظيم. Dear brothers, first and foremost, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us this opportunity to gather in His masjid on a blessed Friday. For that we all say Alhamdulillah. Today, I will talk to you about something that is happening to us without us even realizing it. Us Muslims all over the world, we are being targeted and we're not even noticing it because we are so lost in our worldly affairs. Before, when Islam first came down in this world, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam first started spreading the message of Islam, the kuffar, they used to deny the existence of Allah. They used to persecute Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the Sahaba for believing that Allah is the one true God, that Allah is our Rabb. Just for believing that, the Muslims were persecuted. However, we live in the West right now, where it's majority Christians and Jews, majority disbelievers. But we live in a place where we can freely come to the masjid. We can spread da'wah. We can do our religious affairs freely without anybody saying anything to us. So why do I say that we are being targeted? It is now we are being targeted with the fact that we can't follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it is much more worse than that. What can be more worse than not being able to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala publicly? And that is the disbelievers. They are liberating our minds. They are taking over our minds. What do I mean by that? I mean, they are planting doubt. They're planting seeds of doubt in our mind. And I'll elaborate that in a minute. First and foremost, we will be doubtful of our religion. We will be doubtful of following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if we do not know what is the meaning of our religion. If I ask right now in this audience, if I ask what is the meaning of Islam? What is the meaning of Islam? Some people, well, I'll say majority of people will say Islam means peace. Islam means accepting people, this, that. The major answer, the popular answer is Islam means peace. But that answer itself is wrong. Especially with our youth, when they tend to discuss Islam with their non-Muslim friends, and the first thing they say, no, Islam means peace. When you say Islam means peace, that's when you realize that you don't know the true meaning of the word Islam itself. When you say Islam means peace, then you will contradict yourself when you read the news, when you see how like the Sharia works. You'll be like, okay, this doesn't look peaceful. What is peace? First define peace. Peace is when you get to do whatever you want. Peace is like no one bothering you, no nothing, you're doing as you wish. That is peace. But let me ask you, is that Islam? That is not the definition of Islam. Islam means submission, and this is the topic of today's khutbah. Submission. Submission to who? To your community, your dad, your brothers, the boys? No, submission to only one being, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And that submission has to be without question, without any sort of question. We cannot ask, why is this haram? Why is this halal? Why is this prohibited? Why is this recommended? No, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, then it is what it is. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't do it, don't do it. No questions asked. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, do it, you do it. Again, without any questions asked. That is the meaning of Islam, submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does it mean to be Muslim? Being Muslim is called the person who puts his trust in the being who created him, meaning he submits himself. Let me give you an example. When you go to a doctor, any doctor, it's not even in your own community, you went for vacation in, let's say, back home or something, and you got into an accident and they take you to a doctor. You don't know the doctor's name. You don't know the doctor's background. All you see is their certificate hanging in the background. The doctor has a doctor's coat on. It says MD or PhD on his chest, and you submit to him. Meaning, if he writes something on the prescription, wallah, you can't even read what the doctor writes. You don't even know what the doctor has written. But you still believe that whatever he writes is good for you. You're gonna take that prescription to the pharmacist, and you're gonna believe the pharmacist is giving you the right medicine. Again, you don't know what medicine the pharmacist gave you, but you still submit. Why? You have that trust. That is when you're a Muslim, you have to have the same trust in submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have to submit to Him? We say it in every salah, every rak'ah. We say Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That all praise is due to who? To the Rabb of this whole universe. This Rabb, when you do the tafsir of Rabb, is so elaborated and so detailed. Rabb is someone, in short, if you define Rabb, Rabb is the being that knows what you need without you even knowing what you need. If you need something but yet you still don't know, but your Rabb knows. That being that knows what you need, even you don't know that you need it, even you don't know it's good for you. That being is called Rabb. And us Muslims, when we hear that our Rabb, He says this is haram, this is halal, we tend to ask questions that why? But that's not fair. That doesn't sound fair. Like, it doesn't make sense. Isn't that a bit extreme? When we hear about Sharia punishments, we'd be like, okay, but that was like a long time ago. Like, you can't like put that in this society right now. Like, that was Allah put that for the time of the Prophet. No, Allah does not make mistakes. Us Muslims tend to have this mentality. Obviously, we're not going to say it out loud that Allah did a mistake. We state our opinion. The conversation goes like this. It'd be like, in my opinion, like, yeah, like cutting the hands off after stealing, even though it's Sharia. In my opinion, it's, wallah, brother, Allah does not like care about your opinion. If Allah cared about your opinion, then this is not Islam. That's your own religion. Call it something else. Do not, if you feel like your opinion matters in Islam, that is not Islam. Islam is strictly what Allah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wants it to be. What's our relationship with Allah? Allah does not need us. Allah does not need us. Matter of fact, we are not being forced to be Muslims. Allah made it clear in the Quran, La ikraha fid din. There's no compulsion in religion. You cannot force someone to be Muslims. None of us here are being forced. Maybe youngsters, they're still young to understand. Every adult here, every single, even teenagers, none of you are forced to be Muslims. We chose to call ourselves Muslims, meaning we chose ourselves to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you chose to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then why do you ask questions when this is haram? Or why do you ask questions when this is wajib? Make a sense to yourself. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says something is haram, you will find so many excuses, and you will be able to find excuses. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your heart. And once you start finding excuses, that's when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take the peace away from your heart. When I said Islam does not peace, I do not mean that Islam is not a peaceful religion. Don't get my words wrong. When I said Islam does not mean peace, I meant that Islam means submission. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says you will find peace once you submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَطْمَئِنُّ الْقُلُوبُ. That by the remembrance of Allah is how you will find peace of your mind. But how will that peace come? That peace will only come when your adhkar is pure, when your remembrance of Allah is pure. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pure. Anything that comes from Him, any order, any prohibition, is totally pure. Same way, anything that will be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only pure. The only way your remembrance of Allah will be pure is you truly submit to Him. His word has to come above every other single being in your life. Even if your friend is doing bad, even if your friend, like let me give you an example, your friend is doing a business that is haram. Even if your friend is doing a business that is haram, it is your duty. It is your duty to make sure that you know that what he's doing is bad and you let him know. If it's in your power, stop him. If not, then you have to despise it from your heart. Just because he is your friend, your submission does not lie to him. Even if your dad is doing something haram, yes, he's your father, but advise against it. Just because he is doing a haram business doesn't mean you have to inherit it. You have to put yourself first. Everyone goes to their own grave. And at the end, once you're put in the grave, all that will matter is your submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Many of us Muslims don't even know why we follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the way we do follow Him. If I ask right now, why is pork haram? We will say science says this, science says that. There's actually some more. Brother, pork is haram because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it's haram. First we have to establish that belief that it's haram because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's haram. It's halal because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it's halal. Yes, there's benefits of it, but that comes after. The instant response is, why is it haram? If a non-Muslim asks you, why don't you do this? Your initial response is, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited. That's the relationship we have with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not put rules and regulations in our life because He doesn't like us, because He's punishing us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put rules and regulations in our life because He loves us. Because He loves us. Without rules and regulations, we think that we'll be in total peace. But once you move away from the rules and regulations set by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you'll find how dark your life becomes. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam came to the end part of his life and delivering the message of Islam was complete, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already said that I have made Islam my religion. Inna deena inda Allahi al-Islam. After that, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, once he delivered the message of the Quran, and there was no message left to deliver, he said one thing, that I am leaving you with two things. Hold on to it, submit to it. He didn't say discuss it. This is a problem that most of us Muslims have. We tend to discuss. Not discuss in an educational way, but discuss in where we state our own opinions. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not say, I am leaving you Quran and Sunnah. As long as you discuss about it, as long as you state your opinions about it, as long as you have your opinion on it, you should be good. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I am leaving with you Quran and Sunnah as long as you hold steadfast with it. If it says something in it, follow it. If it says something not to do, don't do it. You will not be led astray in this dunya and the hereafter. But no, we slowly are being liberated by the Western world, by the kuffar. We are stated that no, our opinion actually matters when it comes to religion. No, you can say stuff about Islam and stuff, but once you talk about democracy, once you talk about LGBTQ rights, no, suddenly no, your opinion does not matter. But once you talk about Islam, once you talk about that Islam is not a peaceful religion, Islam is this, Islam is that, okay, but that's his opinion though, why are you going after him? You contradict yourselves. The non-believers, they will say Islam is not the best way of life. Islam is actually harming the society. They state their opinions. And us Muslims, there's Muslims, trust me, there's Muslims that be like, okay, that's just his opinion. That's just his opinion. Even if a Muslim says, no, Islam, this rule is a bit harsh, there are Muslims that will say, okay, that's his opinion, and you have to respect his opinion. Respect what opinion that he's saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did a mistake in putting this rule. that Rasulullah did not know what he's doing? The same Rabb that provides rain for you, that's holding the sky above your head, that same Rabb that has raised you from a baby to an adult, the same Rabb that will raise the dead. You're saying he did everything correctly. There is no mistake. There is not one missing variable in the whole equation. But you're saying that when he put that certain rule, he did a mistake, that it's a bit extreme. Learn to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and you'll see how lightened your world will become. You'll see how easy your life will become. You'll find barakah in your time, your wealth, your energy, your health, everything. And once you move away from that, that's when you start losing your peace of mind. That's when you start losing your hold of control of your life. That's when you start losing your sanity, basically. Why were the Sahaba so peaceful? Why the Sahaba did not be depressed? Why did the Sahaba look forward to every other day? Why did the Sahaba look forward to meeting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Why were the Sahaba not so busy, invested in the worldly affairs like us? It's because Allah made their life easy. Allah made their life peaceful. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the Sahaba. You know why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised the Sahaba because the Sahaba, وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا. They heard and they followed. It's simple as that. They did not hear it and then discuss it among themselves. They did not hear it and then state their opinion on it. They did not hear it and then decide to reject it or to take it. They simply heard it and accepted it. If your shaykh tells you that this certain type of business is haram, this certain type of investment is haram, interest is haram, this, that. There are brothers that will go to a different masjid but still won't stop doing that certain act. This is what the Muslim Ummah has come today. The Sahaba is supposed to be a role model. When they say وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, they heard and they listened, look what their lives have become. When the Muslims followed that thing, وَقَالُوا سَمِعْنَا وَأَطَعْنَا, they heard and they listened. That's when the Muslims conquered the world. And today, Muslims are being persecuted in every corner you can think of. Muslims are being persecuted by Muslims because of that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to know the value and the virtue of submitting to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not everything will be in our wisdom. We will not understand that why we have to submit or why we should submit. As long as you know that by submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your life will become good. Nothing bad can come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything, any rule, any regulation put by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your life, any rule and regulation set by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is there for your own benefit. We may not see it on the short term, but wallahi, in the long term you will meet it. If not in this dunya and the akhirah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to learn how to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to learn how to be a true Muslim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to stay away from the liberation of the non-believers. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فأستغفروا إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, I have so far said that by submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our lives will become better. Our lives will not become worse as we think it will be. Even if the rules and regulations might seem really hard, especially in this Western world. is still there for a reason and we have to follow by it. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about submitting to Him? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Nisa, فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's swearing by His own name. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. He says, I swear by your Lord that none of you will be true believers until what? Until He says, حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. He's talking about Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, until you make him, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, your judge in every single affair. Every single affair. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. As long as you do not make Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the judge about every single affair in your life, every single little thing that you come across in your life, you'll have to think, what will Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say about this? Any decision you make in your life, about your family, about your job life, education life, personal life, any decision you make Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the judge. Make Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam set your affairs for you. What would Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam say if he was present at that time? Even if you're alone and you're thinking in your head, if Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam can see what you're thinking, will you be embarrassed or not? If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was there, you and your friend, would you be talking about what you're talking about right now? If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was present this time, would you be doing the job you're doing right now? If Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was here right now, would you be dressed the way you were dressed right now? Once you will set Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the judge of your worldly affairs, that's when you'll be considered a true Muslim. And that is when you'll find peace in your heart. And that's what we mean by when we say Islam brings peace. Only by submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to love Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam the way we're supposed to, where we set him the judge of every single little affair in our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to learn the value of submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allahumma hadina fi man hadayt, wa afina fi man afayt, wa tawallana fi man tawallayt, wa barik lana fi ma a'tayt, wa qina wasrif anna bi rahmatika sharra ma qadayt, fa innaka taqdi wa la yuqda alayk, innahu la yadhillu man walayt, wa la ya'izzu man 'adayt, tabarakta rabbana wa ta'alayt. نستغفرك اللهم من جميع الذنوب خطايا ونتوب إليك. أقم الصلاة يرحمكم الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Brothers, we have a few announcements. Behind, as you can see, we have the PCR. It's free. Inshallah, we will test our COVID out. And also, we have in Darda Masjid, we have a monthly meeting with Mashayikh tomorrow after Isha. Inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're recommended to join. And also, don't forget for the fundraiser of the masjid, inshallah.
استمعوا اعتذروا.
حيدوا صاحبي هذيك خلي السيد يصلي حرام عليك حرام عليك انت راه باغي دير جوج امامات هنا في الجامع حرام عليك ما حشمش هذا السيد كاع الله يبارك فيك حول ولا قوه
الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ألم تر إلى الذين يزعمون أنهم آمنوا بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك يريدون أن يتحاكموا إلى الطاغوت وقد أمروا أن يكفروا به ويريد الشيطان أن يضلهم ضلالا بعيدا وإذا قيل لهم تعالوا إلى ما أنزل الله وإلى الرسول رأيت المنافقين يصدون عنك صدودا فكيف إذا أصابتهم مصيبة بما قدمت أيديهم ثم جاءوك يحلفون بالله إن أردنا إلا إحسانا وتوفيقا أولئك الذين يعلم الله ما في قلوبهم فأعرض عنهم وعظهم وقل لهم في أنفسهم قولا بليغا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. وما أرسلنا من رسول إلا ليطاع بإذن الله ولو أنهم إذ ظلموا أنفسهم ثم جاءوك فاستغفروا الله واستغفر لهم الرسول ولو أنهم إذ ظلموا أنفسهم جاءوك فاستغفروا الله واستغفر لهم الرسول لوجدوا الله توابا رحيما فلا وربك لا يؤمنون حتى يحكموك فيما شجر بينهم ثم لا يجدوا في أنفسهم حرجا مما قضيت ويسلموا تسليما. الله سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.